We got master pool table technician Scott Fitch in the studio today to talk all things pool tables and to work on my pool table tonight on the Cue Tang Clan. Greetings, fellow Cueists. Thank you for being here tonight. We talk about all things tools of the trade on this show. Those of us lucky enough to have our own pool table knows that it takes major upkeep to make sure your table not only makes the grade, but meets the grade. When I was moving from Las Vegas to Pennsylvania, I searched all over for someone to set up the table that I was bringing with me. Lucky for me, I was able to find Scott Fitch from Fitch's Billiards. What was originally a service call turned into almost an hour of pool talk. We absolutely hit it off. And then once he touched my table, that's when I knew that I had to retain this guy's services from here on out. A few years later, when I got my custom old housing, the dealer I bought it from set it up pretty badly. And once again, Scott came to the rescue. He was able to take my investment and make it very profitable for me. Now, 5 years after that, I need a new simonis cloth. Absolute no-brainer. I got on the phone with Scott Fitch. Before he showed up, I thought it would be beneficial to those of you who have tables or want tables to have the king of tables answer a few things, which you will see right here.
Okay, come back tomorrow, finish the rest.
And this is this old house with Bob Vila. I see a lot of videos where guys are using like Carbondo.
Oh, no, that is horrible.
No.
Horrible.
Like that blue pasty shit.
It gets pinkish too. I've seen the pink.
And it cracks.
Yeah, they don't take the time to line these things up nice.
Yeah.
Then they use that. Now here I come. Well, I can fix this. Now they try to get rid of their Bondo. What's the difference? Come over here. Rock, come over here. Put your fingers in.
Nah, it's like glass.
Right? It's like it's not there.
Like a fresh sheet of ice.
Yeah, all right, there we go. Now I feel better. Now I feel better. Like I said, I'll come back and finish off that. I think that fan is what's drying the cloth quickly.
Possible.
You want me to turn it off?
Yeah, please. Thank you. Yeah, because I've never seen the cloth dry that quickly. I want this to shrink. But I don't want you calling me at 3 o'clock in the morning. So it's too fast. I still get calls. Really bashing my employee today.
Kids just don't want to work anymore.
They don't know
No
how.
way.
It's a damn shame, actually.
All right, guys. I am here with Mr. Scott Fitch. I know Mr. Fitch through when I was in Las Vegas, and we just moved here. I had called him to obtain his services to set up my pool table that I was bringing cross country, and I think we stayed on the phone about half hour that day just talking about pool, and just one of those people that knows the game inside and out that I hit it off with, and he's been back now 3 times to work on my table, and the results are amazing. I wouldn't trust my table to anybody else. So we got Scott here in the studio. Scott, you want to give us your, do you have any social media? Do you have, obviously, your phone number or a website? If anybody is impressed with what I have on my table, that they can get the same work done from you then, personally?
Well, my
phone number is how most people contact me. There are places like Thumbtack out there or my Facebook page. I don't have a website anymore. It wasn't doing anything for me. A lot of my work is just plain word of mouth.
Right.
You know, a lot of people know me in the area for pool. So, and then I did, you did my neighbor's table, you did my friend, my brother, sister, whatever. So that's where I got a lot of my work from. But as far as a phone number, 610-392-1480 if you have any questions.
And I'll put that down in the info below, and I'll also flash it on the screen. If you're in the Eastern Pennsylvania area and you want to shoot him a call and he's in your service area, he is the way to go. Believe me. So one of the things we do on the Cue Tang Clan is we talk all about product. And like I was just explaining to you, one of the few things I can't really lay out in the studio here to talk about is pool tables. So I just had a couple quick questions for Scott. Maybe he can answer some of the questions that we all have about pool tables. First question I got for you, Scott, is if money was no object, what would be the best table to go out there and purchase?
Well, immediately comes to mind is Diamond. Okay, I like their tables. I'm not going to say that I've played on or worked on every table that's out there. There may be others that are equal to it, but as far as what I've worked on so far, I would say the Diamond stand at the top.
Now, I see a lot of people talk about, I got a Diamond blue label or a red label. Is there a difference in quality as from one to the other, or is it just...
I don't know a lot about that. I believe that has something to do, and I could be wrong, with the size of the pockets, pro pockets versus their standard pocket. But I'm not that familiar with it, so I'm just guessing. So something that they probably should look up to find out. And now I'm going to have to look up to find out.
So what about the people that have a budget? They got $2,000, $3,000, and they want to get a good table for their home. Is there any type of budget pool table you would recommend for somebody with that price range?
Well, in that price range, you should be able to get a decent table, especially if it's used. Okay, I always have my customers look for used first, because it's not like a used car where you're going to be inheriting someone else's problems. At most, the problem might be the rubbers on the table, depending upon who the manufacturer is. Some don't do a very good job. They use the wrong type of glue to put them on. It destroys the rubbers. So I would say at that amount, you can get yourself a really good used table, nice looking one too. As far as a new table, you can get a table that looks nice, but then it gets into the construction, the quality of the materials in it. And I've seen tables out there that look nice that are garbage. So,
like the Predator table.
Okay. I have not played on a Predator table yet, so I'm not going to comment on that one. But in either case, I would say that if they have that kind of budget, certainly someone should be able to help them, like myself. Obviously, you go to a retail establishment, they're probably going to want you to buy a brand new table. Okay. But bang for your buck, I think you can get more for that money for a good used table. You might be able to buy a used Diamond, for that amount. You can't buy a brand new Diamond for that amount. So.
I've always seen great deals at like Super Billiards Expo. They last day of the thing, they got all the tables that they had people playing on. They sell them for $4,000, $5,000. I always thought that was like the most outstanding way to go. Was to get yourself a used Diamond, recloth it, make it your own. You're not gonna know if it was new or used unless there's a hard scratch on the table.
Yes, that's how I got mine. And but I've also purchased tables from the show and still had to pay $7,000, $8,000, $9,000. I can't remember, but that was for a 9-footer smart table. Right. So you might be referring to maybe a 7-footer, and that might have to be, they really don't want to take this table back with them, and therefore they're going to sell it for $4,000 or $5,000. Or it's been moved around to 10 tournaments or something like that, and all right, then they're willing to do that.
Is there any brands of table you would stay away from? Or I guess the second part to this question, what do you think would constitute a good table? I see a lot of tables out there, they don't have any names on them sometimes, but they just look solid, nice wood and everything like that. Is there anything like you can point out to maybe somebody who's looking over a table if they see these things, it's like a warning sign for them not to buy it. Maybe bad bracketing underneath, or
And most people, I don't think, would know really what to look at. You mentioned brackets. Yeah, there's some with flimsy brackets and some with pretty rigid brackets. They're both black. They look the same, but some are better than others. Do they have one bolt going into the leg to secure it to the cabinet, or two, and two screws as well?
yeah.
So I would say that probably the best way to answer many of these questions, rather than have me go into all of them, would say I would contact someone in your area who is a mechanic like myself. They can tell you, stay away from Fishers, tables from the late 60s, early 70s. The way they attach the rails is terrible. They don't have a good bounce to them. They don't even sound good. American Heritage, their rubbers go bad quickly because they used the wrong type of glue, I think. And the chemicals in the glue are destroying the rubbers in a short period of time. So I would say the best way to, if you're looking to buy a pool table, is to contact someone in your area that moves them. They have a good reputation. They've been doing it a long time and can answer those questions, and hit a few of them and see what you come up with.
Yeah, I even think that's key. I see a lot of people posting horror stories online. Try to move my table. We wanted to put a rug underneath, and it just all goes wrong. I mean, is that something that you subscribe to also? If you even want to move the table a foot, to call professional.
Yes. You can move a table 1 inch and you can mess up the seams, certainly throw it out of level. So yes, you should have a professional do it for you. But again, a professional that has a good reputation, a lot of good reviews, really knows what he's doing. Because I've seen many things over the years from so-called professionals that I don't agree with, which is what got me involved in working on pool tables. I never wanted to do this, but I couldn't find anyone around here to do a good job on my tables at my pool hall.
I said it to you earlier, but one of the things that you said always sticks with me is that you wouldn't have as much work if the places that sold the pool table did their job right.
I do have to go back and redo tables done by other installers in the area. And I don't like it in particularly because the customer has to pay me, but they already paid somebody else to do it.
Right.
And I just feel like the customers then end up paying too much. And I've had people that have prepaid and then talk to me and want me to set up their table, even though they already paid the other company for the install. Had one recently, actually. And I said to him, look, let them do it. You already paid them. Don't pay them and me to set up your table. Let them do it. And then she paid me a little bit to come over there and check out their work. And I fixed a couple of things. But that was still cheaper than her paying them, and then they don't even install it. They keep her money because they weren't going to give her money back. So that was my recommendation to her.
One of the things we just briefly talked about, Scott isn't really as crazed into the current events of what's going on with the WNT and WPA like me and Jay are. But one of the things I asked Scott about is some of the things that WNT and Matchroom was doing to kind of even the playing field, to make the last place pool player competitive with the first place pool player. And one of the things is the 4-inch pocket. Do you think that's a fair way to create evening of the gap between highly skilled players and maybe less skilled players, even though they're on a professional level?
So you're talking about going from a 4.5 down to a 4. That gives the better player an advantage. That's why the better players always want to play on tighter pockets. Okay, they don't like to play on the bigger pockets because that makes an average or mediocre player shoot better than they otherwise normally could. So pool players always, the gamblers especially, always want an advantage. No, I don't think the pocket size would matter. You make the pocket really big, okay. The weaker player, it does help them, but the better player will use that to his advantage as well. I think that the other handicaps, like they currently have, they have many different handicaps, but even that, a good pool player can overcome many handicaps if they play smart. So.
All right, we're gonna get Scott out of here. I know he hates my questioning.
I don't hate it.
But just one thing we want to just close this interview on with. Scott was just here. Him and his buddy Mike. They set up my table. They just put new simonis cloth on there, so I'm extremely happy. It's like having a new girlfriend. I got rid of the old one. She got a few more stretch marks than I'm used to, and now we got a nice tight 25-year-old without any kids laid out.
with anti-miss technology, don't forget that.
One last thing, I see a lot of people doing crazy methods to cleaning their table. What is the best way to keep your simonis cloth in tip-top shape? Whether it's wet rags or the simonis X1 cleaner, what would you suggest for anybody with simonis cloths? What's the best thing to use to keep your cloth clean?
First of all, like you're doing here, keep your table covered at all times when not in use. Don't use it and it'll stay clean. Just kidding. I would say brush your table down whenever you're done playing. It's okay to vacuum your table. Depending on how much you play, you might want to do it once a month or once every 8 months or something like that. And they say use a soft spinning brush, do not use a spinning brush, but I say a soft spinning brush should be okay. I tested it on my own simonis and it did a fine job. But I think when they first came out with that, it was the older cloths that if you used a spinning brush on it, it would mess up the nap on your table. But I would say test it yourself. But I think that a soft brush on a vacuum cleaner would be fine. Worked for me. Other than that, once you vacuum it, then I would take a clean, damp cloth using a bucket of water, rinse it out, dampen it, go over the table and just wipe it down and look at the cloth. You'll see how much it still pulls out. So keep it clean, keep your hands clean, wear a billiard glove. I'm a strong advocate of billiard glove. It's the only product I've ever sold in the 31 years I've been doing this where I've told people it will improve your game. Sounds ridiculous. How many people have come back to me and told me it did improve their game? They're not distracted by that little bit of chalk that might feeling in their shaft. And where did that little nick come from or that dent? How did that? And they're thinking about that when they're down taking their shot. And you should have full concentration when you're taking your shot. So I strongly recommend a billiard glove.
Now that you say that, we've done a couple videos with different distributors of billiard glove in the past, especially around Expo time. We're always testing different gloves and talking to different people about it. We found that most of the gloves had the same problem. When you pull them off, they're ripping like right in the thumb. Is there a billiard glove that you would recommend that doesn't break down like that?
Well, I'll tell you, my favorite one was Sir Joseph, but you can't get them anymore. From what I understand, they're out of business unless someone's taken over their company. I don't, but that's not what I've heard. I have now a Cue Tang that I've been shooting with for a little while, and I've sold them to people in my league, and they all love them, and they seem to be staying together. I haven't had anybody come back to me and say, hey, mine's ripped or worn out or anything like that yet. But again, that too needs to be washed. Every once in a while, you want to wash that. You'll see all the stuff coming out of that.
Throw it in the laundry.
Or under your sink, soap and water, just like you're washing your hands. Only have your glove in your hand and wash it up, and you'll see this stuff coming out of your glove. So and then hang it up to dry. But I've used a few. But like I said, Sir Joseph I used the most for most of the time I was shooting. But now I'm using the Cue Tang. And so far, I'm satisfied with it, and so are others.
Yeah. Okay, that's about all we got for Scott. I want to thank him for coming out and working on my table. This is my table's the most important thing in the world to me. So anytime I can have a seasoned pro come out here and tune it up the way my neuroses allow everything, I'm happy. So I want to thank Scott for doing this. And once again, if you guys are in the area, I will put his information below, and please contact him with questions and possible work for him. And the Gangster Pool certified and fully vouches. So
and they as you said, they could go with a seasoned pro. I believe
right.
Or they can call me.
Don't just stick to one. Do your due diligence. You wouldn't just shop at one place to get a car. You're going to go around and look at different options. So take what Scott says to heart. And if you're really serious about your pool table and your pool game and pool in general, these are the methods you need to go to. So once again, thank you, Scott. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you guys here. Thank you for answering my questions.
No problem anymore.
We'll see you next time.
Okay, we'll see. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it. All right, here's the finished product. My baby. Man, Scott kept saying to me, "Are you happy? Are you happy?" Fuck yeah, I'm fucking happy. I was happy before you even put everything together. Oh my god, it's like fresh cut grass. It's like going to Citi Field, Yankee Stadium, and seeing fresh cut grass on a baseball field. It's so beautiful. Why would anybody else get anything besides tournament blue? You're fucking crazy. Fuck gray, fuck green, all the other stupid colors. Tournament fucking blue. He takes everything so seriously. Everything's laser level, laser straight. Told him I had a little rattle with the pockets. Yeah, I got you. Fixes those. I mean, everything folded, put away, absolutely perfect. This is gonna play so fast. I can't wait. That footage and the interview, we can point out many items that make the pool world go round, but the table is the true heartbeat. If that's out of whack, then everything fails along with it. Once again, I'd like to thank you guys for being here. I hope you guys enjoyed this footage. Please comment about it. Tell me if it's helped you. If there's more questions you feel we can ask Scott in the future. Please comment, like, and subscribe. That stuff really helps me out. I appreciate those of you who have done it so far. You can always catch me on Level 2 Billiards Live with Level 2 Billiards J. You can see all my stuff on the Gangster of Pool on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, OnlyFans, any of the above. Once again, thank you guys. I am Rob, aka the Gangster of Pool. I'll see you next time.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.